Hello, I am Voided and Lost, and welcome to my tutorial on how to make a tileable honey farm. As you can see here, there are 3 bees in a hive, and this system will automatically collect the honey bottles for you. And so what you will need for each tileable cell is 1 trap chest, a regular chest, 2 pieces of glass. You actually need, there you go, you need 6 honey bottles. This is because the machine is collecting our honey. A beehive with preferably 3 bees, but you can start off with 2. Like I said, 6 honey bottles. A number of empty glass bottles. It doesn't have to be 32, but the more empty glass bottles, the longer you can let this run before needing to restock it, basically. You will need 1 dispenser, 1 dropper, 3 observers, 7 hoppers, a dirt grass block for your flower, and a flower, a repeater, 1 comparator, 4 redstone dust, 2 redstone torches, and then for decoration, it can be any kind of block that you want. And then for me, for the lighting, I use a honey block with some glowstone. See, right there, honey block with glowstone above it. Alright, to start this build, what you want to do is you'll want to dig a hole 6 deep by 2 wide and 1 below your actual floor surface. And then what you want to do is here on the left hand side, actually bring up 1 more block, bring up a block, add a chest on top of that, then count back 1, 2, on the 3rd spot put a block, another space, a block, and then 2 blocks up like that. On top of this first one, go ahead and put a comparator pointing back, piece of redstone dust, down in this hole we will add a repeater pointing to the back, a redstone torch on that block there. So this begins to constitute our sorting system. Crouch and put a hopper pointing into the comparator, and then inside that hopper go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 extra honey block. Just like that, perfect. So now off of our chest, crouch and put 2 more hoppers, and you'll see that that first honey block has come down into this hopper, which is perfect. So now what we want to do is go ahead and get a dispenser and put a dispenser on top of that hopper there, pointing off to the side. Get a hopper that goes into the dispenser and put a trapped chest on top. Make sure it's a trapped chest. Like that. Perfect. Alright. Go ahead and grab yourself a couple of grass blocks and put 1 here and then 1 off to the side. Get yourself a flower, and that goes right on top of that grass block. And that is going to be what your bees are after. Alright, I'm going to grab a temporary block, and this is going to be where your beehive is going to be. But that is we're going to put that in last. Alright, a couple more temporary blocks coming off the bottom. Remove that. And have a hopper pointing to the back. Remove that temporary block. And get yourself a dropper. And have that down there pointing up. So that's a dropper pointing up. Okay. Get yourself a hopper. That points into your dispenser. And there you go. Put in another one, and that is going to chain a line from the dropper onto the dispenser. Perfect. Great. Alright, now get an observer that goes on top of where your beehive is going to be, and then an observer looking at that observer, and that goes into a block. There we go. Nice. Off the side of this block is a redstone torch, and that just gives something for this observer to look at. Alright, good, good. Now, right next to your dropper down here, put a block. Put some redstone dust on top of that block, and then put a solid block there to block off that line. So when this block with the torch on it gets power, the redstone dust under that will also get power, and that will activate your dropper. Okay, so now one final bit. Put some redstone dust on top of your dispenser. Finally, your last bit is to load up your dispenser. One of your last bits is to load up your dispenser, and you can put those in to your trapped chest, just like that. Okay, let's remove that temporary block. Grab yourself some glass, and your glass goes there. So your honey block will go there with some glowstone on top of it. There we go. And that is your cell complete. Alright, so what you want to do now is you can build this exact thing right next to this, going to the right, and build this out as long and as far as you would like. And then when you come to your last cell, you've got to make sure, just make sure that you block this section here up, whether it's against a wall or another build, but you'll want to block in your bees from there. And so then lastly but not leastly, take your beehive and you can reach in, and right where our temporary block was before, you can put your beehive there. Make sure though that your beehive has bees in it. That's the key thing, at least 2. And you can actually breed your bees through this opening, or kill bees, or remove the hive, or whatever else that you would like to do. Now finally, what I do for decoration, I like the dark oak on this with the sandstone. So I do some stairs like that. I do some stairs here like that. I tend to do half slabs on the ground just so mobs don't spawn. And then I can do stairs like this. And then the ceiling is at this level here. Yep, that level there. And you can even do half slabs like that if you'd like. And then if you mix sandstone with your smooth sandstone, your cut sandstone, it kind of looks beehive-ish. Like that. And that is this. Also, another thing to be aware of is if you run out of empty bottles in your dispenser and your hive gets full of honey, then that will pretty much stop the observer from seeing the bees leave it, and you will kind of be stuck with honey. But that really is not an issue because this is a trapped chest. Once you put more bottles back into the system and you open up this trapped chest, it triggers the redstone and triggers the dispenser, and you can basically reset to reset simply by opening up the trap chest. You'll clear the hive and you'll be good to keep going. And that's it for this tutorial. I hope you liked it, or at least found something useful. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. And I also play, if you didn't know, on a multiplayer server for the Bedrock Edition of Minecraft, and it's called Bedrock. Go ahead and check us out. It's a lot of fun over there. So until next time, as always, have fun and see ya.